Hey guys, what's up? lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss How to Train Your Dragon 2. 2014 is How to Train Your Dragon 2, directed by Dean DeBlois, composed by John Powell. So Dean and John came back from the first one. That was 4 years prior to this. It's the follow-up to 2010's How to Train Your Dragon. Loosely based off the How to Train Your Dragon book series. Very loosely based. The writers obviously have their own spin on it, which is fine because this story is beautiful. Now this story has the dragons interacting with the Burkians, the Vikings of Berk. It's been 5 years later. Hiccup is now 20. Toothless is now 20. So it's nice seeing the animated characters age. And I personally have never seen that before in animation prior to 2010's Toy Story 3. They aged Andy. They aged all the human characters. And then 2014 is when you had How to Train Your Dragon 2 have aged characters. But I find it interesting because DreamWorks doesn't really do that. Pixar does that, but DreamWorks doesn't really do that. So to see them age, it was very entertaining and very neat to see. The visual effects were stunning. Cinematography with the camera pans were just gorgeous. The lighting was gorgeous. So from an artistic visual cinematography standpoint, perfect, beautiful. The composition was stunning. The music was stunning. Voice cast was great. The story was great. So we have the Riders of Berk playing games, and then Hiccup and crew meet some dragon trappers who are trying to sell dragons to Drogo Bloodfist, who is an adversary of Stoic, who's the chief of Berk. Turns out Hiccup's mom is actually alive and not dead, and she runs a hidden dragon section run by one alpha, and Drogo Bloodfist has control of another alpha. So then the alphas eventually fight, and then Drogo's Bloodfist alpha beats Hiccup's mom's alpha, and then takes all her dragons away. Basically, the whole hive mind aspect, and then there's eventually a Toothless versus Drogo's alpha battle at Berk. Toothless is the winner, but in the process, Stoic is killed because Toothless is kind of brainwashed, hive controlled, and then he breaks it and he becomes the alpha, and blue fire comes out of him and he takes control, and the Riders of Berk are now back, and Hiccup is now the chief. And so on to the next adventures. Now what's interesting is that there's a lot of TV series actually from Cartoon Network and from Netflix. 2 different series in between the first and second movies, and then there was another series after the second movie. I never got into the TV shows, even though they are canon within the Riders of Berk, Dragon Riders mythos. But from a trilogy perspective, the 1, 2, and 3 movies, that's like where most people are going to see the main story unfold. So it was very sad, obviously, when Stoic died. It was very powerful too, to kill a character that you're invested in and to see growth for character development. And let me tell you, the writers, Chris Sanders is a producer again. Everyone involved with this franchise is brilliant, and I have nothing bad to say about this film. Have you guys seen How to Train Your Dragon 2? Are you excited for the third one when it comes out? Have you seen the third one? Since it's already out. What do you think? Do you love Toothless and Hiccup as much as I do? Because I do. I love them both. They're awesome. Mucho mahalo, guys.